Hey there everybody, Logan23 here, sporting a new cap. Let me know what you think down below. But other than that, so right now I'm recording this in the tail end of July. But what you're about to see took place on one of the unboxings back in May. It is something that is so horrible, so egregious, that I just had to share with you. And please consider joining me on this journey. It's something that, go get a popcorn, go get a soda, a little mini movie, and you're going to sit there with your jaw on the floor, especially by the time you're done here. But before we get to that, especially if you know anybody in the computer industry, whether it be, friends who are looking to buy a new computer, you should probably send them this, especially if they plan on buying a pre-built. Just saying. And tell them not to buy from this specific company. And if you know anybody in the industry who basically does business and or sells computer parts or does any business with them whatsoever, you should probably tell them to end contracts with them, because we'll get to that in a minute. My trusty helpers. They're really helping, man. You can tell. Anyway, so this is the box. I haven't opened it yet. Right. Okay. It's a little bit of dinging. Like there's an indent here. There's a few indents here. Nothing on this side. I'll check the other sides, but opening. I took a peek. Let's just get into it. So there's one layer of this. Okay, so the usual. Oh look, the computer. You have a crushed graphics card. Yeah, think about that. So instead of putting like, I don't know, separate, padded anything, Jesus, I'm gonna get livid. You take the power cord and you mash it in between the box and the graphics card instead of, I don't know. Are you serious right now? Like, also, I packed this box with literally like a bunch of soundproofing film. Shit like this, right? That's like an inch thick, right? They didn't even return that, which I'm not that upset about, but literally that was the whole purpose of it being right there. There's giant gap. Like, Jesus Christ. Alright, let's move on. Power cord. Thanks for just like sending it back in a little baggie, because that'll help. Let's... Oh my god. Graphics cards are one of the like most expensive things in the whole entire package. In the whole PC. Oh, Jesus Christ. There was no need for this. Like, I'm serious. Look at the crushed box, man. I'm just... Are you serious? Alright. There was no reason for this. Like, so I'm a person that likes to salvage the box. You now have this nice sticky film here. I'm now Spider-Man. There's literally no salvaging this. They're... Like, are you... Let's get to it. Like, I turn it, and, like, the box is so crushed that, like, this side's open, and you can tell it wasn't cut with a knife or anything. You can tell this is, like, sheer force of will. Right? And like, look at that. What obscenities would like to come out of my mouth right now? What was the point? Like, I literally have the before sent box that was in mint condition, and this is what it comes back as. Like, I'm serious, look at that. Like, that's completely, like, they taped it all up as if that mattered, right? Because I sent it to them not taped up. They just had to tape every single corner, and yet still, without even a knife. What was the purpose? What? Oh, I read this paperwork. The video card make and model shown on the box may not be reflective of the actual video card within. The box is used for protective packaging only. Did you, like, take my box that was in mint condition and crush the ever-loving shit out of this? Let's move on. The GPU is not installed in your repair to prevent shipping damage that can occur. No shit. Installation instructions have been included on a separate paper. Okay. What? There's one paper. I know how to install it, I'm just making a point. I went to flip it. It's just... Oh, Lord. Knife time. Now let's open it and hope that the graphics card isn't broken. You know, I'm just gonna say it. Thank God for MSI. And they're like really good, durable, solid, like foam. Because otherwise, if this was like cheap as hell foam, kind of like Ibuypower's foam. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Anyway, this would probably be broken, but here's hoping it still works. What's weird is this is the side that the graphics card was on, right? When I open this, everything's still the same, right? So, you can't blame anybody. There's no damage. So you guys just... What? That was a pristine box. I know, I'm just livid by it. I'm just livid because there's no damage. Right? Now getting to the computer, there seems to be no damage on the outside of this box. You know, besides that corner. Aside from that, nothing really. Okay, so upon slowly pulling this out of the box, yeah. This wasn't even the side that was pulled on. Oh, doing a bang up job, guys. Bang up job. How do you break something while putting it into a box? Like, there's no damage. Right? My workers are really working overtime. Let's get to the computer. Okay, it's out. This is the bottom. Okay. Now let's flip it. Upon touching the top, I'm a little worried because there's typically a magnetic thing right here. And as you can see, it's not there. This, again, I can't even... Right, I have to lift both ends to get it up halfway. I'm really hoping, though really dumb, if it's inside the computer. Incompetence. No, the dust cover is not on the top. It's not attached. Oh, thank God for instructions. So, upon, clearly dust cover's not on here. They kept the bottom one on. Thanks for that. You did half-ass of a job. But it's not in here. Okay, not here. Like, really surprised they didn't, steal the Noctua fan at this point. Oh, that was what was rattling around in here. Are you... Jesus Christ, I can't with this shit. You may ask, where did it go? It's literally supposed to be fitted right here. Just saying. And in case someone goes... I'm adding more light, by the way, so you guys can see clearly. It takes a little bit of force to get that bad boy off, and then you slide it in there and... So... Just saying. Also, just look at that. And I'm like, there's no wiggle room for this? And this wasn't like this. This isn't supposed to be like this. I went through a fine-tooth comb with the camera before I sent everything. This was not like that. There was literally no fucking wiggle room. I'm mad. Alright, I've proceeded to put the graphics card in. I changed nothing else besides plugging it in, graphics card in, putting the anti-sag bracket there, once again MSI, the champs, and this whole situation. Thank God for their good packaging, or, you know, I guess we'll see if the graphics card has any issues, but I did not see any damage whatsoever, so we'll see. I wish I was making this up, but as I went to input the power cord into the PSU, check this out. I'm not kidding you. Both are super loose. Like, super loose. While doing this, while looking through the camera lens, that one was a little loose. That one was alright. We're okay now. God, you guys are incompetent. We have power going to the motherboard. But we did... Well, you know, the computer was never able to turn on. Moving on! The fact that there's no dust cover still triggers the shit out of me, but let's hope and pray. An aircraft carrier has just taken off. Seriously! Also, I seriously hate RBG bullshit. Like, I'm not even kidding. Because when this is, like, standing, right? Faces blackout curtains. I don't get to see any of this shit. It's pointless. It's stupid. It's a gimmick. Moving on. So, what do you think about that? So, before you cast your opinion on what you just saw, keep in mind that before sending the computer away, there was a 2-page document that was included. One of the pages was from a partner, which is called Micro Center, who inspected the computer and everything else, and they didn't know what was wrong. Brought it home, it bricked literally and figuratively the day after as well, which was one of the reasons why I took it to Micro Center in the first place. Before I sent it to Ibuypower, I replaced RAM, I replaced the power supply, and I included all of this documentation with Micro Center's report. And so I sent it to them. And Ibuypower spent a month replacing a power supply. They said that was the issue. It started up just fine, just like what happened before going to Micro Center, after going to Micro Center, and literally at Ibuypower, which was all included in the documentation that was included with them. We talk about incompetence here, and I like to hold people's feet to the fire, and oh my god, incompetence. So you're telling me you couldn't read all the documentation that was from Micro Center, you can read all the documentation that I included, as well as all the troubleshooting steps that I did. And basically, also one of the telltale signs of their incompetence was when the computer was received, when it was supposedly power supply was replaced, and when they wrapped it all up with their final testing, which was literally and figuratively in a day. Because also the timestamp that was on the computer when I got it back, because they also turned off automatic time and date stamp for whatever reason, and left a ton of things not updated. So it sat in Ibuypower's care for over 2 weeks after being completed, only to be shipped back, taking a whole entire week. Only for, well, I don't want to get to spoilers, but the next video, if you thought that was like, oh my god, that is incompetence, just wait. I don't want to spoil it. Just know, some sequels are better than the originals. And this is one of the originals. So, stay tuned for that. Otherwise, remember the cat, let me know your thoughts on that. I'm kind of, deciding myself, really. But, man, I never want to do business with these people ever again, and I'm still trying to resolve this issue to this day. And it is the July 30th. Is that really a spoiler for the next part? Which you're going to really have your jaw on the ground, but stay tuned for that. I just thought I'd upload these separately, so... This has really been a journey, let me tell you, and this is one of the worst companies that I ever have had the unpleasant experience of doing business with, and literally, I never want to hear their name, their symbol, or anything else ever again when I'm fully done with this whole entire process. When they've had a computer in their hands for 1/3 of a year because they can't get it right. Yeah, no, don't do business with these people. Catch you on the next video. Peace out.